This is Kristen Heemstra, your personal college and career coach, and we are doing this amazing calendar workshop. Now, one of the first things you need to do is gather information before you put your calendar together. So I have put together this worksheet for you of all the potential dates you may need to think about. They include things related to testing. Are you going to be testing again before you apply, or are you done testing? And only you know the answer to that. There are dates for the high school itself. So different schools require transcript, recommendations, various information that will go from the school to the college. But you have to request that information for it to go. So there's all kinds of information on that. And then there's application deadlines. So depending on how many schools you have, you're going to want to have every single deadline about that school listed so you know when information is due to them, as well as some prompts so you can make sure you get your supplemental essays in and all that kind of stuff. You also, starting out, you want to identify the schools you're going to apply to. You want to fill in the college planner, which you'll see in a moment. Then you want to fill out the calendar. You want to make sure you get a good long runway for your Common App essay. And if you're going to visit schools, all kinds of stuff. Dates for supplements. With money, you'll need to fill out the FAFSA. Almost every school requires it, as well as some schools require the CSS profile. Then there's also information on scholarships. Depending on how many you want to apply to and which ones, you can put those here. And schools also have internal scholarships, so you want to pay attention to those deadlines. You're going to need to send in your deposit money in May. Usually it's due May 1st, and that's exciting. That's when you commit to a school. And then there are other important deadlines. Some schools have a scholars program within the school itself, and they often have supplemental essays and deadlines attached to that. And then there's all kinds of other things that may come up in your life you need deadlines for related to this process. So this will get you started, and then we'll take a look and see how those work. So you can see that I filled out the dates on these, and next we are going to put together the college planner, and this will take you some time, so just know that. I think I did this one and it took me a couple of hours at least. Even though in theory it should be faster, it just took me that long. So I don't know how long it will take you. Maybe you'll be lickety split on it. What information you need? You definitely need to identify the schools you're going to apply to. I gave this student a very significant list of 9 schools. You do not need to apply to 9 schools. You can only attend 1. But nonetheless, for the sake of the example, I gave them 9. I also listed the acceptance rate, so that often can give you a sense of how competitive things are. I gave them a size, so they knew the size of the institution for undergraduates that they were applying to. And I gave them the 50% range for both the ACT and the SAT. Now, you'll see that I gave the student a 31 on the ACT, so you can tell kind of where they'll fall in the mix of things. I also wanted to make sure that if the student needed the SAT 2s, those were taken care of. And I put down the student's GPA as a 3.8 unweighted, and you can see the averages here. And then also, I did notification dates, early decision, early action, and then the notification, as well as the regular date and the notification. Now, I am having this student, and this is important, so pay attention. I'm having this student apply to everything early action, and not early decision, but early action, which is non-binding. And the reason I'm doing it is because often when you apply early, your name gets put in the hopper for different scholarships that the school has available. And if you apply regular decision, sometimes that is not the case. It varies from institution to institution, but it is something to pay a lot of attention to as you go through this process. All right, so what you're looking at right now are sticky notes that I am about to put on a calendar. And these sticky notes were defined by a few things. The first thing is the college list. Now, in this particular list, which you can download, I picked out 9 colleges. A student can only go to one college. In my case, I did 3 reaches, 3 matches, and 3 safeties. You do not need to do this many, but a lot of people do, so that's completely up to you. Then the other piece of information that you're going to need is the college calendar worksheet, and you'll see I have these dates filled out. Then I took these dates from both the college planner here and from this, and I made sticky notes. These sticky notes I'm going to put on a calendar. So these are, you can see I have 9 schools here. Each school has the deadline, the decision, and then this little doohickey. I'm going to use that to define when I need to do my supplemental essays. So that's how the colleges are laid out. Then I also have other dates that I need to put on my calendar. I used orange for all of the colleges that I'm going to be attending, or not attending, but all of the colleges that I'm going to be applying to. I used green for things that were related to money, including the scholarships planning on applying to. You can see those. And then also when the forms are due for parents to send information in. And then blue is all the things that I'm going to need to coordinate with the high school, including requesting transcripts, requesting recommendations, all that kind of stuff. And then finally, pink is my testing. When do I need to get my test scores? When do I need to request them? All that kind of stuff right here. So hang with me. I'm going to put them all on a calendar so you can see what they look like. So as you can see, you're going to need a large calendar or something that works for you, different color sticky notes, and then also just some prompter tags. And once you use those, you will have yourself an absolutely amazing calendar, and it will be so easy for you to be successful.